found this guy who I'm very, very pumped up about. And his name is, great name. Listen to this name, okay? Agostinho Zinga. Agostinho Zinga. How great is that? How great is that? There's only one name that's cool. There's only one name that's cooler than that. Teodulo Romulo. who's a I didn't even know about that man until 3 days ago. My friend who is about to move to Mexico City told me about him. How crazy! He's in Mexico. I believe he's Mexican. I don't know his full story. How about Teodulo Romulo? That's nuts. Agostinho Zinga is right up there with that. And he's an interesting mix. He's a bit older than me, but he's kind of a music journalist. He went to I want to say, I don't think I'm getting this right. St. Andrews, where is that? Edinburgh? He went to some design art school to study product design. And I think he bailed out and then did something else or he hated it. I can't remember. He didn't love it. But he studied product design, which is cool. He got this creative eye. And now he's a music journalist. He's a music journalist, and among other things, he's a writer. He does this cultural commentary show, which I really, really enjoy.
All that good stuff. And I think I mentioned it before on my podcast before, right? About how cool it was to see all these alternative club nights and festivals and stuff pop up over the last 18 months. It feels like, as a response to, I think, as a kind of weird response to this kind of constant conversation that happens about having, not enough variety on the lineups in terms of genders and sexual orientations and backgrounds and whatnot. Instead of complaining and whining and moaning about this stuff on social media, a lot of people have decided to kind of gather their resources, their friends, their local community, and actually do something about it themselves and put on these really cool events that, for the most part, from what I can see, have been very, very well received by the public and have been a resounding success within that little niche. And you're hoping that, as time goes by and people become more aware of these little subcultures and groups and niches that exist within dance music that kind of form the overall kind of tapestry that makes this such a beautiful and rich sort of scene, that more people will get kind of hip to it, and it will kind of progress to the point where these people will also be on this big lineups where they're paying you 10 grand per gig and shit. Because that's where we want to get to. Because as great as these events are, you also want to see some parity in terms of the levels of pay and all that stuff going forward. So this is courtesy of Mixed Magazine. Body Movement Festival was a landmark occasion for queer self-expression. It says Hackney's Body Movement Festival, the first queer electronic music festival. It's a landmark occasion taking place in early October, with the festival season shifting into autumn by a late reopening of nightlife. The sold-out event, founded by DJ Sarosi and Little Gay Brothers Clayton Rye, features 20 collectives, 16 spaces, and an astonishing lineup of DJ performers and artists. A rush of sweet sensory overload is felt upon arrival at Body Movers in anticipation of the day spent reveling in music, dance, hedonism, and laughter. Arriving at a ticketing area of the festival, the celebrations immediately feels special. The sunlight reflects off the shining clothing, garments worn by the festival goes with a blur. Beats are audible in the distance, dissonant sounds bouncing off each other. One pair embrace and declare the excitement to be able to dance together. For those attendees, Body Movements embodies something greater than the festival. I was told, gay club culture is left for the nighttime. Okay, let's read it again. For some attendees, Body Movement embodies something greater than most festivals in the calendar, bringing together their queer identities, friendships, and love for dance music. Gay club culture is left for the nighttime. I was told by someone I met at a bar, "Oh, hello, I'm here. I'm in the sun, showing off my legs. I'm ready to go have a good time. I'm tired of waiting until dark. It's like waiting in the shadows despite being October. Revelers show skin soak up in last summer rays." That's actually interesting, because I remember listening to one podcast once where people were talking about club culture and about, obviously its foundations in the queer scene and whatnot, especially in the gay club culture. And some girl popped up and said she finds it sometimes annoying and frustrating how there aren't a lot of club nights or clubs that are more catered towards the lesbian side of things. And it got me thinking, that's interesting, because I wonder if, like, on the same side of gay guys saying, hey, we don't feel comfortable in going to like straight bars, so we got our own little scene where we kind of feel comfortable doing our own little thing. But then also you have to imagine a lot of the gay clubs are sort of seedy, I don't say seedy, but they're kind of, mostly catered to the nightlife. They're mostly catered to kind of after dark hours. And you wouldn't imagine a lot of the guys that go to gay clubs will be that comfortable going to some of the big marquee festivals that exist, because it's a very bro-y energy, right? These kind of marquee festivals. There's a lot of girls, there's a lot of guys, but it's a very, what that term they say, it's a very cis, straight sort of vibe in general. There's not a lot of kind of, queer camp vibes when you go to a normal festival. So maybe when you go to like a kind of, a general everyday sort of festival. So maybe it does make sense for these festivals to exist because they are kind of one of only a few options available.
So I think you get the picture. That was 4 minutes. I think we need to move on. But yeah, he first of all he covers dance culture, which I'm very very drawn to. How would I even say this? It's more than passionate. It's what's a word you could say? More than passionate. It's elemental. It's like in my it's in my it's in my makeup. House music. It's who I am. It really is. Like I get very 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 sentimental. It's house music is linked with some of my happiest memories on earth. And I care about the sort of origins of the culture, the history, the socioeconomic context of different DJs, and the scene, the evolution, and how it's adapted. And Resident Advisor had a great piece on what happened to tech house, and talking about the origins and how it kind of became commercially popular, and some of this sort of authenticity and the modesty kind of dissipated. So anyway, this guy, I like this guy. I like this guy. I think he has interesting takes. We kind of get into it. He had another piece about there's now all entirely female music festivals coming out, which his take is it's not the answer to the disparities in the dance music scene. He kind of just wants more equality across the board, more opportunities for everyone, right? And I guess I see what he's saying, but I also feel like I really admire this female DJ, and what else is she? She's a journalist. I suppose she's mostly a DJ. Louise Chen, who is that's my woman, man. She's the shit. I've sent this I've sent pictures of her to my let's look this lady up. I've sent pictures of her to my group chat. She's like I've resent her Instagram stories a million times to different people. She's the shit, man. She's cool as hell. She's cool as hell. She's got a if you haven't seen her piece at her London flat. Sorry, not her London flat. My bad. She lives in London now, but she used to live in Paris. She's the shit, man. She, in terms of the dress, the language, the music, the whole vibe. She's the shit, man. She started this club night in Paris, specifically catering towards women, because she felt like, I think it was like go go go, or no, girls girls girls, because she felt like the scene was just too male dominant. There wasn't a vibe. It was like, I want to go out with my girls tonight in Paris, and it was just the scene just kind of, it's just not there. So she started this female catered, female targeted club night in Paris, and it seems to be quite cool. I think it was a couple of years ago. She's moved to London, giving out her personal info online. No, she was talking about it on IG. So anyway, she's talking about kind of the disparities in the scene, and I feel like she would think differently. She might think this is great for the female industry, and she was criticizing on her IG. She was like, ha ha ha, this is, she was kind of laughing about, she was sort of disparaging, criticizing. She was like, I can't, people still going to all, male only lineups. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, get with the times. Male only music festivals, male only gigs, male only dance music, which again, I think is interesting. How do I see it? I guess I don't know, man. It is a male dominated world that we live in, is it not? And I feel like that extends to DJ dance music scene. And I feel like there needs to be there. I feel like this. I don't think Agostinho is saying it's not a step in the right direction. I think he's saying maybe a different step in the right direction is a bit more in line with how he pictures parity being reached. There's just so many kind of bland. I mean, the guys that look like me. These kind of bland, generic European, English, Australian, American, from the United States of America. I don't like to use American to refer exclusively to the US. If you talk to other people in other American and Las Americas and other countries, they're like, if you say, oh, I'm from America, they're like, all right, what part? And you're like, oh, United States of America. Anyway, I can make a whole video about that. Anyway, I guess I feel like I guess I feel like it's a step in the right direction. Agostinho was saying he, as a man, does not go to festivals and feel like, oh, I feel weird. I'm noticing that there's a lack of female presence here. I commented on his video and I said, look, I feel like women do notice that kind of stuff. I feel like, right, me being a white man, I feel like I go to a gig and I'm one of 300 white people and there's maybe 5 or 10 or 20 people of color. You ask them, and some of them are probably like, "Hell yeah, I noticed that I'm one of the only not white people." You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be an alienating experience. So yeah, that's what I think about that. So I think that ties into